to submit, or rather to defend my proposal. It was on a very important amendment to our PFM Act, anchoring Article 223 of the Constitution law. And up to now, Mr. Speaker, my worry is that the committees of Parliament, which are supposed to facilitate and help facilitate our work, seem not to be working expeditiously to. So I don't know who to place my frustrations to. And since this proposal I made to the Speaker, that is the point of call.
You don't look frustrated?
Pardon?
You don't look frustrated?
No, Mr. Speaker, this is the way I am. You know, I have been here for a while. You know, if you take 16 years in one place,
you take it in stride.
Yeah, you take things in stride, Mr. Speaker, and that is why you think I'm happy. But eternally, I'm suffering. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader, I have received several members in my chamber also raising similar complaints. Maybe your office should have a structure where committees give you routine reports, maybe fortnightly or monthly, on the amount of work referred to them and the progress so far, so that way you'll also be abreast with whatever is going on, and on an issue like this you can be able to respond instantaneously. But I've received at least 4 or 5 members with similar concerns. Yes, Majority?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I was checking whether the chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee is in the House, because in most instances, and I know, for instance, the case for the PFM amendment, because it will have some implication on being a money bill proposal, they will usually lie in the Budget and Appropriations Committee, and the Honorable John Buddy, having been my member when I was the chairman of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, will remember that at least every 2 months or so, we would appraise the House on the status of any legislative proposals, and I will pick that up with the chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee to be giving us an update, actually not even to my office, an update to the House on members' legislative proposals, where they are, those that have money bill effect and those that have gone through the Budget and Appropriations Committee. And of course, even others that may not have a money bill effect, but have got to go through the departmental committees. We will liaise through the liaison committee, Honorable Speaker, to make sure that we occasionally update the House, so that members' don't go through the rigors of making proposals and they never get to see the light of day to get an opportunity to be debated. Especially that one on Article 223, Honorable Speaker, I think we will need to follow up, because it's a very critical issue in the management of our finances in this country, and the abuse that has been there previously of the use of Article 223. Thank you.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 8, the Affordable Housing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 75 of 2023, second reading.
Majority Leader. Who has a point of order? Yes, Junet.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for your indulgence. Mr. Speaker, yesterday we were here to debate the whole day, and we took time to debate the motion that you approved on the femicide. And in the middle of the motion is when the report for this bill was presented by the chair of the committee, Mr. Speaker. And it's only a night that has passed. And I'm sure people have other businesses that they conduct at night, especially on a Valentine Day, Mr. Speaker. Especially on a Valentine Day. I'm sure, Mr. Speaker, people are not conversant with the report of the committee and how it has gone. So, Mr. Speaker, I was seeking your indulgence if more time can be given, even over the weekend, so that people can read, so that we see how housing affects everyone and how we are, you know, Mr. Speaker, Parliament has conducted a thorough public participation this time. They have gone to every part of the country and they have listened to the people's views, and those views are contained in this report. So So we need time to look at them and analyze them and internalize it. Then from there we say, this is, In the meantime, we could debate issues like NADCO now, for example. Then we come to housing after that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You know, the Honorable Junet is my good friend and I know his wife. So when he talks about Valentine's, Honorable Speaker, I know Junet's wife allowed him adequate time to go through the report, even as he did the other things that pertains to Valentine's. And it's true, Honorable Speaker, that report was tabled yesterday afternoon. That is exactly almost 24 hours since it was tabled. And members, I'm certain, have had the opportunity to peruse through the report. And more importantly, Honorable Speaker, what I am moving for debate is the bill, not the report. The report only serves to inform what the work that the committee has done. And I agree with the Honorable Junet that the joint committee that you designated to handle this bill, Honorable Speaker, has done very good work and done extensive public participation in line with our constitution. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, ask that you allow me to go ahead and move debate for the second reading of the bill.
Proceed.
As members. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I therefore beg to move.
On the same point? On a different issue? Yes.
Just for good order.
Yes, Honorable Wandai.
Yes, I think maybe this is the best time to raise this issue with you so that we move on the same wavelength. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the bill that is currently before us, you will notice clearly at page 2133 that the bill has been characterized as a bill not concerning counties. Okay? And I want you to allow me, just to indulge me for 1 second, to read that particular paragraph. That the bill relates to the broader policy framework on housing, with particular emphasis on so on and so forth, and therefore it does not concern counties within the meaning of Article 110 of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, I need your guidance here, really, because I feel that I am lost. Because if the promoter of the bill contends that the bill does not concern counties, that it simply delves into matters housing policy. No, I am raising a fundamental issue that needs to be addressed before the debate can even commence. It's very critical here. And if you go to Schedule 4, Honorable Speaker, Schedule 4, the fourth schedule of the Constitution, indeed, housing policy is a function of the national government at Sub-Article 20. But again, if you go there then to the functions of the county governments, you will find at paragraph 8, one of the functions of the county governments is county planning and development, including, among many other things, at Part D, housing. Mr. Speaker, this is a matter that requires your guidance, because if you say, therefore, that this bill is only dealing with housing policy, and you go to the memorandum of objects and reasons, Mr. Speaker, a casual glance at the memorandum and objects of this bill clearly tells you, even if you are a layman, that this bill goes beyond policy. It goes beyond policy. It delves into serious matters of housing that affects the counties directly. In fact, it even has consequential amendments to the Employment Act. It has got serious issues. It even establishes a board that will manage the fund. It goes on and on to determine how these funds will be raised, and even the eligibility criteria for this house. So in a nutshell, Honorable Speaker, I want to really take more time than this. If you go to the Article 110 of the Constitution, very finally, Article 110 of the Constitution, and thank you for indulging me, Honorable Speaker. It wasn't my wish to interrupt my good friend, Honorable Chungwa. In this Constitution, I'm reading it verbatim, Honorable members. In this Constitution, a bill concerning a county government means, among other things, a bill containing provisions affecting the functions and powers of the county governments set out in the 4th schedule, and so on and so forth. But then it goes ahead to say at Article 1113 that before either House considers a bill, the Speakers of the National Assembly and Senate shall jointly resolve any question as to whether it is a bill concerning counties, and if it is, whether it is a special or an ordinary bill. What am I saying? That the House needs to be guided by your chair, Honorable Speaker, whether that consultation between yourselves and Article 1113 has taken place, and you've resolved that this bill is a bill that doesn't concern counties and therefore doesn't have to go to the Senate. That has to be clarified. Because from where I stand, I hold a strong view, a very strong view, that in the manner this bill has been structured, this bill clearly affects counties, and therefore it is improperly characterized. That is my point. It is improperly characterized, and that improper characterization must be corrected before we can proceed to the stage of moving it. Thank you. I submit.
Majority, you have some. Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I agree with the leader of minority to a large extent that there is no doubt that this bill concerns counties. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, first, the courts, Honorable Speaker, have already held that before first reading, there is no need for concurrence on whether the bill is one that concerns counties or not. Two, Honorable Speaker, it is up to you as speakers, between yourself and the Speaker of the Senate, to agree on whether a bill concerns counties or whether it will go to the Senate, or that is coming to the Senate will need to come here. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I believe between the two offices of the speakers, you must have consulted and you will be able to guide us. However, Honorable Speaker, the import of what was in the memorandum, Honorable Speaker, was largely informed by what is in the text of the objects, as Honorable P was reading on page 2133, on the broader policy framework and the money bill aspect of the bill. But Honorable Speaker, even as a committee, and that's why we had a joint committee, the Committee of Housing and Finance, engaged with stakeholders, it became clear that there are certain aspects of the bill that will require this bill to go to the Senate, and I am certain the leader of the majority in the Senate is already waiting for us to do justice to this proposal, and it will go to them eventually, as at when, Honorable Speaker, yourself and the Speaker of the Senate do agree. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would want to beg that we still go ahead and do what we ought to be doing now, debating, because some of the issues I've had the Honorable P.O. speak to are issues actually that he should be speaking to during debate. And therefore, we are just preempting debate before we move. And you allow me to move, and we will have all the time today, tomorrow, if we want to sit tomorrow, on Tuesday afternoon, on Wednesday afternoon, and morning, if we desire to, Honorable Speaker, to be able to debate all these issues. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to beg your indulgence that you do allow me to move the bill, call a seconder, and then we open debate, and we can debate onto all those issues that we want to debate on, including whether this bill will enable us to build houses in all the counties that we went for public participation to.
Order. I'm not opening debate on this. I want to give you the following guidance. The minority leader and the majority leader, you're both right. This is a bill that concerns counties. Number two, Article 110(3) was complied with. The speakers of both houses exchanged communication, and we were in concurrence that this is a bill that concerns counties. So from here, the bill will go to the Senate. Number three, the misdescription in the memorandum and objects of the bill is something curable. In any event, at the end of the passage of this bill, the memorandum and objects and reasons of the bill are mere descriptions. They will not become part of the act that you'll eventually pass. The content is in the clauses in the bill. So at the time you go to committee stage, you can very well, for purpose of aligning the bill in the line of the arguments of the minority leader, amend the memorandum and objects and remove any offending words for purposes of record, and for purposes of record only, and nothing else. This bill concerns counties. From here, it will go to the Senate. Proceed, Majority Leader.
Very good. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for that guidance. And indeed, the memorandum is just that, a memorandum is a storyline that tells you what the bill is about. But Honorable Speaker,
that matter is rested.
Yeah, I know, Mr. Speaker. No, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
For purposes of tidiness, to tidy up, because, you know, these bills, Mr. Speaker, after we finish with them here, there are other people who deal with them and take them to elsewhere. So we can debate on this bill based on your ruling that the memorandum, the definitions in the memorandum and objects have been expunged or something like that. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, somebody will use the bill that as of when it was being moved at the second stage, it says that this bill does not concern counties. It's as period as that. So if the Speaker has made a ruling that I have used standing order number 1 and have expunged that definition, then, Mr. Speaker, we are safe. But otherwise, we are debating a defective bill as because, Mr. Speaker, the memorandum and objects inform the article.
Order, Junet. You are overstretching your imagination. What the chair has directed automatically becomes an addendum to what you will eventually decide. So the matter rests there. Let's have the majority leader move the bill.
thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I therefore beg to move that the Affordable Housing Bill, National Assembly Bill number 75 of 2023, be now read a second time. Honorable Speaker, maybe for the comfort of Honorable Junet, I will repeat our